What's up, Misfit Nation? Welcome to another episode of the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Matt the Misfit. Tonight, we're going to go over the 2023 Royal Rumble event from San Antonio, Texas at the Alamo Dome, or maybe, I think this is the third time that we've been there at the Alamo Dome. The pay-per-view was decent, much better than last year's Royal Rumble event, if I have to be completely honest with you. But that's not saying very much. I personally enjoyed both Royal Rumble matches. I may have enjoyed the women's match a little bit more. The ending of the pay-per-view was incredible. The whole thing with Sami Zayn, the Bloodline and all that stuff. Cody Rhodes coming back. Gunther having a star-making a performance. Rhea Ripley having a star-making a performance. Asuka comes out as Kana. And all this stuff. We're going to talk about all that and much, much more. But if you like it, if you like what you see here, hit the subscribe button, comment down below, hit that like button, that little thumbs up that you see on the bottom of the on the video up there. Follow the social medias, Misfit Podcast TV on Twitter, Misfit Wrestling Pod on Instagram, Misfit Wrestling Podcast on Facebook, right here on YouTube.com/@Misfit Wrestling Podcast. You can find us on Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, Stitcher, Pandora, iHeartRadio, and Google Podcasts. All that good stuff. I may not even in this podcast might not even end up on the Apple iTunes store. Who knows? But let's talk about it. So the show opened up for the very first time in the history of the Royal Rumble pay-per-view event. The show opened up with the men's Royal Rumble match. Now, it was going on earlier in the day that the match card, or the match order, was being decided, or still was being decided. Fightful Select broke the story of the men's Royal Rumble match. Was scheduled to go on first, with Roman and Kevin Owens closing the show. But before the match actually gets underway, Pat McAfee, yes, that Pat McAfee makes his long-awaited return to WWE. Pat McAfee, who's been away doing stuff for College Game Day. I believe that College Game Day stuff is over with. It does look like Pat McAfee is back full-time. Michael Cole seemed very, very surprised, like legitimately surprised that Pat McAfee was there. So that was pretty cool to see, and I was very looking forward to seeing the banter back and forth between Corey Graves and Pat McAfee when we saw that. However, the men's Royal Rumble started with Gunther. He comes in at number 1. Sheamus comes in at number 2. They start the Royal Rumble. Crowd pops for both for this being the match that starts off. They had that incredible Match of the Year candidate last year at Clash at the Castle for the Intercontinental Championship. The long-term rivals stare down. They start wasting no time. They start just beating the shit out of each other with chops and basically stuff we saw at Clash at the Castle times 2. While that's going on, the poor Miz comes out at number 3. He starts being a coward, backs down as Sheamus stares him down. That allows Gunther to do sneak attack. Sheamus from behind, Gunther tries to eliminate Sheamus, but Sheamus hangs on to prevent himself from being eliminated. He even fights off Miz's attempts to pull him down. Instead, Sheamus climbs out of the ring through the second rope and not the top rope, which is key. A lot of the wrestlers tonight who didn't get eliminated went to the second rope or the bottom rope. He starts chasing the Miz around the ring. Then the Miz walks into a ginormous chop from Gunther, and Sheamus then beats Miz up into the corner. Next up, Kofi Kingston comes out, who usually is a highlight reel. He did not have a very good showing. Well, he had an okay showing in the Rumble, but his attempt to save himself from being eliminated was botched once again. I tweeted out, I probably shouldn't have, because then I probably jinxed Kofi. I said, do not fuck this up again, Kofi. But Kofi leaps in with a crossbody, then hits a drop kick to Sheamus as Gunther and Miz get hit with a double boom drop. Sheamus and Gunther then slap each other in the middle of the ring while the Miz and Kingston are battling on the ropes to stop each other from getting eliminated. Next up, we had Johnny Gargano at number 5. Johnny Gargano, who had been dealing with a shoulder injury, who probably may have not made the Royal Rumble, maybe, who knows. He comes and hits an enziguri to Kofi Kingston, then plants Miz with the DDT as he leaps over the top rope, hitting the one final beat. He then sets the Miz on the top rope, but Sheamus comes over to take his place and hits the 10 beats of the Bodhrán. He then hands Miz off to Gargano, who super kicks Miz, and that is followed by a bro kick, and the Miz is eliminated by Sheamus, the first elimination of the match. Number 6, Xavier Woods comes in. Woods hits the ring, and him and Kofi instantly start working together as a team because they are the New Day, of course. They start taking control of the match. With everyone down, they start pretend like they're going to square off, but then they only have a little fun there. Karrion Kross comes in at number next. He comes in at number 7. Kross gets into control of everybody until he's dropped with a clothesline from Gunther, but Kross responds with a Saito suplex, and Sheamus then starts brawling with Kross into the corner. Number 8, Chad Gable comes out. He starts hitting the ring, starts shushing people as he throws Kingston and Gargano across the ring, but Woods blocks it and tells Gargano. Not Kofi. Xavier tells Gable to shush as the two of them begin working in an amateur wrestling match in the middle of the ring. Number 9 comes in, and it's Drew McIntyre. He starts launching several men around the ring. Chad Gable gets nailed with a Glasgow kiss, while Kross tries to starts fighting with Drew because they had that little rivalry that they had earlier, at the end of last year, when Kross came back to the company. But Kross gets hit with a Claymore. Kross is eliminated by Drew McIntyre. Kross didn't have a very good run in this Royal Rumble, which is a shame. I feel like he could have had a decent run, but he didn't. McIntyre turns around and faces Gunther. The two men start trading chops until McIntyre drops him with the DDT. Santos Escobar comes in at number 10. He connects. He kicks Sheamus into the. So Escobar comes in. He kicks the face of Sheamus before connecting with a crossbody to Chad Gable, but he heads to the top turnbuckle, which is a high risk for anybody who is in any type of battle royal rather. Gargano ends up joining him there. Escobar hits a top rope phantom driver on to Johnny Gargano. Angelo Dawkins comes in at number 11. So Dawkins does his little shtick. I don't really like his spinning clothesline in the corner. That's it looks lame to me. But Gunther eliminates Woods at one point with a big boot to the face. Kofi Kingston continues the fighting, but this is where Gunther launches him, and I'm assuming he was supposed to catch a chair or something, but the save elimination was botched, so that didn't do very much. But Kofi was, I believe, eliminated at that point. Number 12 comes in Brock Lesnar. He starts brawling with Sheamus and McIntyre, immediately suplexing them back left and right. Dawkins just gets eliminated, and so does Santos Escobar. They're gone. So then it's just Chad Gable's gone as well. So see you later to all three of them. This gets really good here. Lesnar starts squaring off with Gunther, and the crowd just starts eating it up. And then Bobby Lashley comes in. Lashley starts fighting with Gunther. He ends up being speared by Lashley. While Lesnar and Gunther are fighting, often off the, because we didn't get to see much of it. Gunther is speared by Lashley, who takes out McIntyre. And Sheamus. So basically, this is where Lashley is doing his thing. He eliminates Brock Lesnar, which crowd was like, "What?" Brock Lesnar only lasted about I believe he only lasted 3 minutes and 34 seconds in the Royal Rumble, which is very, very, very crazy to hear that. Baron Corbin comes in. This is while this is going on. Lesnar is just having a conniption fit. He takes a steel steps and just hits the commentary table with it. And then he starts beating the shit out of Baron Corbin, which was funny as shit. And just leaves. He first throws an official over to the barricade and leaves. Number 15, Seth Rollins comes in. He throws Baron Corbin into the ring. Only super kick him, and then Baron Corbin's gone. So Baron Corbin lasted as long as fucking the Warlord did, but longer, I guess. How long did Baron Borman last here? Only 6 seconds. So he only lasted like 4 or 5 seconds longer than Warlord did. Otis comes in next. He gets his moment, does everything in the ring. He's in there for a little bit. Rey Mysterio supposed to come out. He doesn't come out. He gets Spike Dudley, meaning he must have been attacked before backstage. He never comes out, and he never enters the Rumble, so he got Spike Dudley. That's what that means. Because in 2004, Kane gets eliminated by Booker T, I believe. And Spike Dudley is coming to the ring. He gets choke slammed onto the ramp, and it's just he's gone for the rest of the night. He never enters the Rumble, so there's that. Lashley is eliminated by Seth Rollins. Like, oh my god! So Seth Rollins is having his little showing in here. Gunther and Sheamus, who still entered at number 1, is still in the match here, which is phenomenal stuff. Seeing Dominic comes in next. Michael calls him a little piece of shit, which is fucking hilarious. I didn't catch that at the time, but it was said and it was funny. So he's just he's here to get his heat, basically. Owens is eliminated by McIntyre and Sheamus. McIntyre spends his time outside the ring stretching. No hurry to get in. I think Dominic is. For me, it says I have it listed as McIntyre, but he eventually gets in and starts eliminating. Immediately gets so he's just not having a good day here. Is Dominic Mysterio? Next up is Elias, and Elias is just gone. Elias gets a bro kick claymore to the face by McIntyre and Sheamus, and he's gone. Finn Balor comes in next. He hits McIntyre with a sling blade, then takes down Sheamus and Rollins as well. Balor and Dominic begin working together to attack Gargano, and as Balor gets rid of him, so Gargano is Johnny Gargano. Around 30 minutes, and I believe Johnny Gargano lasted 29 minutes and 58 seconds. So a half hour in the Rumble. Great showing by Mr. Johnny Gargano. Next up, Booker T, the first surprise of the night. Booker T hits Finn Balor with an axe kick. Dominic gets on one. Dominic gets one as well. But in the end, Booker T is eliminated by Gunther, which was hilarious because I just like seeing Gunther eliminate people, which is good. Damian Priest comes out next at number 23. So Montez Ford apparently came in at some point, which is not listed here. Odd. I'm missing something here. Oh well. But Montez Ford ends up being eliminated. Oh no, he comes in next. My bad. Montez Ford comes in. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was reading something. I started saying Montez Ford. I'm like, wait a minute. When did he get into the match? I misquoted my own line here. So Montez Ford nails Balor with a kick to the face, but Montez Ford isn't in there very long. He's eliminated by Damian Priest, and then out comes a surprise number 2. Not really to anyone. Edge makes his return to the ring. Basically the ring after his first appearance since Extreme Rules. Crowd pops. People love Edge. But Edge is eliminated by Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Dominic then tries to fight Edge, but the Rated R Superstar has Dominic almost about eliminated until Priest and Balor make the save and basically eliminate Edge altogether. Austin Theory comes out next. While that's going on, Priest, Edge, and Balor are brawling back up the ramp. Rhea Ripley comes in and starts helping out. But little does Rhea know, she turns around. Beth Phoenix appears and hits her with a spear. Official comes in. The officials start coming in and they start trying to break it up. And that was the end of that. Thankfully, we didn't see any more of Beth Phoenix tonight. They did that here so that wouldn't interrupt or stop whatever they were doing with Rhea Ripley a little bit later on. Almost came in at number 26. No one cares about Almost, but I'll talk about him anyways. The Giant hits double clothesline and Sheamus and McIntyre. Theory and Gunther appears next. He starts shouting, but again, Almost just starts no-selling the Intercontinental Champion. He chokeslams Gunther. Braun Strowman comes in next. He starts cleaning house by eliminating Almost. McIntyre and Sheamus try and eliminate Rollins, but Rollins manages to slide underneath the bottom rope to survive. Entrant number 828, Ricochet and Strowman. They're a tag team apparently now. They start doing their shtick, but McIntyre and Sheamus end up get eliminated by Gunther. Surprising a lot of people there. Next up, the final surprise of the night. Logan Paul comes in at number 29, and he starts doing his stuff here. He's doing things here. Gunther and all that stuff. Ricochet attempts to eliminate Logan Paul. That doesn't work. Gets hit with a butt lariat, only to be then chopped by Gunther. That was nice to see. Then everybody just gangs up on Logan Paul, which is fantastically funny shit. Cody Rhodes comes in at number 30 and immediately eliminates Dominic Mysterio, which was fucking hilarious. Cody Rhodes turns around into a powerbomb from Braun Strowman. With everyone down, Ricochet and Logan Paul did a springboard. A springboard. It's okay. So I would describe this into like a springboard mid-air collision thing. It was really fucking cool, but I don't really know how to explain what it was. But it was probably the best spot of the match. Braun Strowman is eliminated then by Cody Rhodes. Ricochet is eliminated by Austin Theory, who eventually does get into the match. Rhodes Theory into the ring. Rollins hits him with a stop as Rollins then tries to eliminate something. Austin Theory then is eliminated by Cody Rhodes. We think it's just Rollins and Seth. Rollins and Seth. Seth Rollins then is eliminated by Cody Rhodes. Is eliminated by Logan Paul. And at first I didn't get it, and then I'm like, oh, that's gonna be the WrestleMania match. So now we have 2 WrestleMania matches set up, maybe 3. But Two, definitely, I know for a fact that we're set up in this event, in this match, Lashley and Lesnar, and Rollins and Logan Paul, and it may be a triple threat match for the Intercontinental title: Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre, maybe. But Logan Paul gets eliminated by Cody Rhodes. It's down to Cody and Gunther. But this was great stuff. Cody eventually hits the crossroads on Gunther and clotheslines Gunther out of the ring, and Cody Rhodes goes on to win the 2023 Men's Royal Rumble match. Gunther sets an all-time record of being in the for the most amount of time spent in a single Royal Rumble at 1 hour and 11 minutes and 42 seconds. So, good stuff on Gunther. Cody Rhodes is going on to WrestleMania to face Roman Reigns for the undisputed Universal Championship. But I enjoyed the Men's Royal Rumble match. I know a lot of people didn't like most of it, but I enjoyed it for what it was. That last few minutes was great. Cody was going to win the Royal Rumble, regardless of what anybody says. This was kind of a well-known fact for months and months and months that Cody was going to win the Royal Rumble. And I do love the fact that WWE made mention earlier in the night that basically said that Sami's not going to be in the Royal Rumble, the Usos are not going to be in the Royal Rumble, or neither is the rest of the Bloodline. So as soon as they eliminated that situation for the picture, and as soon as I found out that this match was opening the show, I'm like, Cody's winning the Royal Rumble. And then I was able to find out that Cody indeed was going to win the Royal Rumble. And thank God we didn't see a appearance from The Rock. That's something. Let's move on to something I don't really want to talk about anymore. This is Bray Wyatt defeating LA Knight in a pitch black match. I mean, the visual of it looked cool, but the match was not. The match was it was awful. Let's be 100% real. I don't know. It was awful. I do not want to see a pitch black match ever again. This was bad. This was awful, and it got even worse because Bray Wyatt ended up putting some type of weird ass mask on his face, started stalking LA Knight, and then Uncle Howdy, who has been confirmed to be Bo Dallas behind the mask, tries to do an elbow drop or something on the LA Knight, and it just misses him completely. This was dog shit. I don't know if I care much about Bray Wyatt anymore. I think this was kind of it for me. The icing on the cake that I don't want. This is on the bad icing on the cake. This was like this was on expired icing cake here. It was terrible. And it got worse. It got worse because they had Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss Raw Women's Championship match. Who cares? Who really cares? Bianca won again. LOL. Cena wins. LOL. More of that Uncle Howdy shit. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I have no reason to see this. This is kind of lame. Women's Royal Rumble match. This was actually really fun. Rhea Ripley goes the distance. Pulls out her own version of Shawn Michaels in 1995 when Shawn Michaels won the 1995 Royal Rumble match, going in at number 1. Entrant number 2 was Liv Morgan. They start doing their thing. And number 3 was Dana Brooke. She didn't last very long. Well, she did, but actually she didn't at all. But I don't think she did. I don't know. Oh no, she lasted a good little bit. Emma comes in at number 4. Dana Brooke is just terrible at wrestling in general. But she's there for some reason. Emma's doing her shtick here. Shayna Baszler comes in. She starts Being Shayna Baszler, just beating the ever shit out of people. It's great stuff. Bayley comes in at number 6. Bayley is dropped with the ability. She gets dropped by Oblivion immediately, and I for some reason thought like they were gonna pull a Wardlord Santino Marella moment, and I really thought Liv Morgan was gonna eliminate Bayley the second she got in the ring. But entrant number 7, for some fucking reason, was BFAB. I don't know why they allowed her in the ring. She didn't last very long because Rhea Ripley just fucking got rid of her, and it was like, see you later, bye bye. NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez enters at number 8. This is the only Rumble match that featured NXT women. There's 3 of them. She's doing her great stuff. Hits Rhea Ripley with a flying high cross. She sends Rhea Ripley flying across the ring. Bayley tries to eliminate Roxanne, but Roxanne reverses and connects with a running uppercut. Now, coming in next is Dakota Kai, followed by Io Shirai. They start teaming up. Damage Control is having their way here with this. Damage Control ends up eliminating Dana Brooke, because Dana Brooke is just useless at this point. Emma starts fighting Damage Control, but the numbers game is just too much for her, as Dakota Kai just boots Emma into the face. Emma is eliminated by Dakota Kai. Roxanne Perez is still fighting against the trio of Io, Dakota, and Bayley. While that's going on, Natalya comes in. She's coming back from her nose surgery after getting her nose broken by Shayna Baszler a few months ago. Natalya was there. It was whatever. Candice LeRae comes in at number 12. Candice goes straight after Damage Control. She almost eliminates the tag team, both Io and Dakota, but they end up hanging on. I would have loved to see Io try to do her own version of Kofi Kingston, but like actually, find a unique way to stop her escape elimination, basically. But Shayna and Natalya get eliminated by Damage Control. Zoe Stark from NXT comes in. No one cared about Zoe Stark. She was in there for a very a good while, but no one really cared. Xia Li comes in, which here's what I don't understand here. So Xia Li is starting to get in the ring. She has her big ass staff with her. She's gonna get in the ring with it. The referee's like, no, you can't do that. Okay, and I'm sitting here looking at this, and I'm watching. And I'm like, well, why was Elias allowed to go in the ring with the guitar and use that as a weapon? Like, the referees didn't stop that. What? It just didn't make no sense to me. Candice LeRae is actually eliminated by Io Shirai. I know it says Damage Control on my sheet by here, but Candice, again, dumb babyface syndrome, is on the top rope, and she just gets dumped out of the ring by Io Shirai. Next up, Becky Lynch comes in, plays pops. Becky looks great. She always looks great. Io and Dakota go underneath the bottom rope so they don't get eliminated here. She just like jumps through Io and Dakota. She starts throwing hands with Bayley. They go through the second rope, and while all that's going on, Damage Control is just having their way with Becky Lynch. Tegan Nox comes in at number 16. She does her usual shtick, though. I did love the line Corey Gray. So they were going on about the shiniest wizard thing, and Michael Cole says the line of something along the lines of, she has the best shining wizard in the business, or whatever. And Corey Graves, I agree 100% with what he said. It's like, well, Muda might have something to say about that. I'm like, of course he does, because he fucking invented the move. It was his move. Coming up next, it's number 17, Asuka, and this was great. The crowd in San Antonio, the Alamo Dome, popped huge for this. Asuka comes out. New music, by the way. New music that's actually fired by Def Rebel. Once. It does sound like the guy who sung her old theme does this thing too. And she just She has this cool look. She has this cool looking mask and stuff. And she's been teasing going back to Kana for weeks now. All through the month of December. I believe half of November too, but I'm not 100% sure about that. She removes the mask. The crowd loses their absolute shit. Kana is here. She gets in the ring and everyone's like, "Oh fuck, we're gonna die." Look on their face, and Asuka's just going off, beating everyone's ass. It was great. Tegan Nox gets eliminated by Asuka. Piper Niven comes out. Yes, you heard me correctly. Piper Niven, no longer Dewdrop. She's back being basically a character change. Triple H went back to her old NXT gimmick, and I love that he did that. Triple H cooking these two entrants, and then Tamina comes out. No one cared about Tamina, but they're no one meaner than Tamina, apparently. Lynch then gets back into the ring here. Well, because remember the damage control was beating up not Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch there. Chelsea Green comes in. And is immediately eliminated by Rhea Ripley. So I'm assuming this is, and she threw a fit, which is what a Karen would do. And the rumor is that she's gonna have a Karen type gimmick, and that just fits what a Karen would do. And I think Chelsea Green could pull it off. That was funny though. I believe that Chelsea Green only lasted 4 seconds in the Royal Rumble match. Becky Lynch then gets eliminated. She eliminates Dakota Kai and Io Shirai. Becky then is immediately eliminated by Bayley, who then is immediately eliminated by Liv Morgan. So it was like elimination after elimination. It was very quick, rapid eliminations, but it made sense. Selena Vega comes in at number 21. She comes in, starts brawling with Xia Li, who's on the ring apron. Coming out on top, eliminates Xia Li, so Xia Li is gone. Raquel Rodriguez comes out at number 22. She has a good stretch here, but again, I don't really care for Raquel. By the way, it's kind of funny, and I thought this was, and the fact that I forget this out, this was pretty funny. Asuka got a bigger reaction than Raquel Rodriguez did in her own home state. That's hilarious and kind of sad. Mia Yim comes in number 23. She starts out strong, starts taking out several women in a row as Rhea is planted on the top, like it's boom, knocked in the head. As at some point, I don't know when it happened, but somebody nicked Rhea in the nose, and Rhea's nose was bleeding. I don't know when it happened, but there was a cool visual at some point in this match that looked really cool. Lacey Evans comes in at number 24. Lacey lunges Morgan across the ring. She's doing her stuff here. Michelle McCool, who was in the crowd, still was in the crowd with her music hit, and she just jumps the barricade. I'm like, okay, she's in there. Michelle McCool, always doing good stuff in the Royal Rumble. But Tamina doesn't take long, eliminates Michelle McCool. India Hartwell comes in at number 26. This kind of made me a little upset because like they eliminated Candice LeRae like many hours ago, or not hours ago, many minutes ago, and we don't get a reunion of India Hartwell and Candice LeRae, and that was made me very, very sad. Sonya Deville comes in next. She starts getting her sticks in, this is kind of weird to me because I could have sworn that a couple of weeks ago, Sonya Deville said no to the Royal Rumble. So the fact that she's in the Royal Rumble now makes what she said a few weeks ago absolutely meaningless. Anyway, Dakota, they've already been eliminated. Sonya Deville and Asuka start trading their strikes back because the whole MMA background stuff there. Lacey Evans catches Selena Vega with a Cobra Clutch. She lifts her over, and just dumps her on the floor like if she's Shayna Baszler or something. Shotzi Blackheart returns from her hand injury at number 28. She tries to eliminate Lacey Evans, but is unable to. That's all didn't go too well to plan here. AD Hartwell is eliminated by Sonya Deville. Nikki Cross comes in at number 29. Nikki Cross is just crazy. Okay, she'll do whatever in this match here. I did love there was a line by Michael Cole that's a line about sanity, and I'm like, oh, sanity, don't you say there, Michael? Number 30 comes out next, and it was prematurely spoiled because the music of Nia Jax hit it, and I'm like, oh, good lord. I saw this name earlier. I'm like, God, no. But Nia Jax just gets the shit kicked out of her by everyone, and it was glorious. Rhea nails her with a riptide, and everyone eliminates her. She's gone. Bye-bye. Apparently she's staying. God, no. Send her to NXT, Connor. Actually, no. Don't send her to NXT. Actually, no. Send her to NXT because I don't watch the show. So there is that. Boom. 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 So Raquel then manages to get rid of Lacey Evans with a clothesline. So Lacey Evans is gone. Asuka then takes down Raquel. Sonya is eliminated by Asuka. Michelle McCool is eliminated by Rhea Ripley, even though I could. So I got that wrong. Tamina gets eliminated by Michelle McCool. I want to correct myself there. And then Michelle McCool is eliminated by Rhea Ripley. Just a lot of eliminations going on here. Shotzi is next to be eliminated when Michin hits an eat to defeat. But she has no time to celebrate because Piper Niven just throws her out too, lands Michin onto Shotzi. So Shotzi is limited by Mia Yim, and Mia Yim is limited by Piper Niven, who's having a great run here at this point. Tries to take a high-risk maneuver to drop Raquel onto Raquel, but grabs her and just eliminates Raquel. Piper Niven gets eliminated by Raquel here. Raquel then turns her attention to Rhea Ripley. And thank God Rhea Ripley eliminated Raquel, because I did not want to see Raquel just eliminate somebody who is the only option to win this match here. Well, that was before Asuka came out looking like Kana and wanting to kill people. So, Nikki Cross and Asuka, who have no short of history against each other, had that incredible last woman standing match for the NXT Women's Championship. Very underrated match that doesn't get enough love, which it should. They are brawling on the apron. Cross looks for a DDT from the turnbuckle because, like I said, because I believe Asuka is like bridged on the turnbuckle, bridged the turnbuckle. I was going to hear a DDT. Morgan charges her and just knocks Nikki Cross to the floor. So Nikki Cross is then eliminated. Morgan tries to get rid of her former partner, Rhea Ripley, but Ripley just hits her with a headbutt. Everyone at this point is on the ring apron. Asuka then attempts to do some stuff here. Try to get rid of Rhea. Asuka hits the miss. Rhea ducks, and Liv Morgan gets sprayed in the face instead. She is blinded for a little bit. Asuka is then eliminated by Rhea Ripley. Morgan's trying to fight on to get Rhea out of the match, but Rhea Ripley was able to throw Morgan out with her legs. And Rhea Ripley is headed to WrestleMania to challenge either Bianca Belair or Charlotte Flair for the Raw or SmackDown Women's Championship. That final three ending was phenomenal stuff. I'm so happy Rhea Ripley won. She was the right choice. She went in at number 1. She lasted 1 hour, 1 hour and 1 minute and 3 seconds. So did Liv Morgan, but that was great. Asuka, I don't actually know how long Asuka lasted, but she seemed to, I want to say it lasted a good 20 minutes, 25 minutes, I want to say. But great stuff. Love seeing Roxanne Perez in there. She's great. Liv Morgan's great. I didn't see her winning, though, but it was nice to see her get a showcase. Ripley was the absolute right choice to win here. She was the only choice to win here. It was nice to see them progress the Becky damage control storyline. Nice to see Pepper Niven get her name back. Asuka looks phenomenal as Kana. Triple H can finally use Asuka like the fucking killer that she was in NXT. I'm intrigued by this Chelsea Green gimmick that she's going to have. This Karen-like gimmick here. Mia Yim, it's whatever. Lacey Evans will probably get repackaged again. Nikki Cross is great. Nia Jax, for some reason, is back on the roster. It's whatever. Main event. Because we're not going to talk about that other shit that happened. Main event. Roman Reigns defending the undisputed WWE Universal Championship against Kevin Owens with not with Sami in his corner. He's good. Sami's in the corner of Roman with Paul Heyman. This match was crazy. Back and forth stuff, kickouts, all that good stuff. The real meat and potatoes of this match was near the ending. Roman took KO's head, smashed it into his head into the back of the steps, not once but twice. Sami is looking like, what am I doing? What's happening here? So, Sam gets the spear for the 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns retains the championship. After the match, the Bloodline appear. Jey wants to honor Sami, but Reigns is like, no. We're gonna still beat the shit out of Kevin Owens. That's what happens, and what's even worse, they're making Sami watch. So all that stuff is happening. And Owens is handcuffed to the ring, to the ropes. And then at some point, Zayn steps in and says, "No, that's enough. You've done enough. You're above this. He's had enough. You got WrestleMania ahead of you and all that stuff." And he hands the chair to Sami Zayn. Sami's like, "Oh, well." He's torn between what he was going to do. Then Roman gets into his face, pushes him around, and then the icing on the cake of this entire storyline that's not even finished yet. Sami Zayn smashes Roman Reigns in the back with the steel chair that Reigns handed him, and the crowd went bananas. I was like, yes, let's go, Sami. Now, I'll get to that in a second. And then the Bloodline Jimmy Uso, who, by the way, was all for Sami Zayn and getting into the Bloodline, was all buddies, pals with him, is beating the shit out of Sami Zayn. Solo Sikoa, who I guess didn't like Sami from the start, but beating the shit out of Sami Zayn. Paul Heyman's watching, of course, and Roman Reigns is beating the shit out of Sami. Guess who's not? Jey Uso. They want Jey Uso to get involved, and he leaves. He's torn. He leaves because he just finally got the trust from Sami Zayn and all that stuff. And they're doing all this, and they're making Kevin Owens watch while he's handcuffed to the ropes. This is going on for like boom, 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 and they leave. Crowd gets Roman has nuclear heat, and Sami Zayn laying there, destroyed. Kevin Owens handcuffed, and that is how the Royal Rumble goes off the air. Oh boy, this was. This show was actually really, really good. Okay, so okay, let me finish that. The show was decent. The two Rumble matches I thought were fun. I thought the women's Royal Rumble match was far more superior than the men's. Both Rumble matches were better than what the fuck Vince did last year. Kana, I'd love seeing that Kana be introduced into the WWE universe. That's great to see. Roxanne Perez is great to see. I love seeing people beat up Nia Jax because it's fun. Rhea Ripley going to WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes going to WrestleMania, winning the Royal Rumbles was the right choices. The only choices. And no Dwayne Johnson. The fact that they did Cody winning the Royal Rumble, and then they did the angle that they did tonight. The Rock did not agree to do WrestleMania. I've been trying to tell you guys this for months and months and months, and you guys like, it's gonna be Rock and Roman because it's in Hollywood, or last week all I heard was, well, you know, what do you mean he can't get in shape? I mean, he's jacked. I'm like, no, that don't mean shit. You can be as jacked as you want. Doesn't mean you're jacked enough to have a wrestling match. Like, just because they teased this doesn't mean that it was going to happen. This match was never committed to. The Rock never said yes. The matches now for WrestleMania, based on tonight's show, are as followed. I'm going to pull up my little, because I wrote these down. You got the undisputed Universal Championship match between Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, based off of Cody Rhodes winning the Royal Rumble. Rhea Ripley will either face Charlotte Flair or Bianca Belair for the respective championships. Austin Theory is rumored to face John Cena. Bray Wyatt is most likely facing Uncle Howdy Bo Dallas. Rey Mysterio is going to face Dominic Mysterio, it seems like. Seth Rollins looks to be facing Logan Paul. And Bobby Lashley is looking to face Brock Lesnar. And based on the ending segment tonight, we are still going to do the Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the undisputed tag team titles. That is the plan right now. So that's the current, and possibly Stone Cold Steve Austin being on the show. So I didn't think people like, I would have loved to seen the Great Buddha in the Royal Rumble. I didn't think he was going to be in the Royal Rumble. I think he's going to be saved for the Hall of Fame. I think when he eventually shows up at WWE, it's going to be for the Hall of Fame. I don't think the WWE does not need The Rock. I'm sorry. Like, we don't need The Rock. This is fine. Roman Reigns is not wrestling both nights of WrestleMania. Okay. What I would do, and this is just me, I would have Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the Usos close night 1. Okay. And then I would have Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns close night 2. It just kind of, that's what I would do there. But yeah, that was the Royal Rumble. Decent show. I enjoyed most of it. I enjoyed both Rumbles. Pitch Black match was fucking awful. Atrocious stuff. It looked cool, but the match was terrible. So was the Raw Women's Championship match. Kana is back. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are going to be the best friends again. Sami Zayn is one of the most over baby faces on the roster. Rhea Ripley is going to be a massive star coming out of the Royal Rumble. Cody Rhodes is going to most likely beat Roman Reigns with the Universal title. Gunther was made into a star with his performance in the Royal Rumble. So, you know, all the decisions outside of the two non-Royal Rumble matches and the main event was the right call. So, there's that. And you know what? So I did so I want to show you guys, talk to you guys about something else that was going on. I had a little fun little Royal Rumble plan that I did. Well, it's not planned, but it's a little fun game I had, which I had, it was last year. I pulled out 30 numbers, 1 through 30, basically, like in the Royal Rumble. Put those numbers into a randomizer, and they randomly choose a number, and whoever wants to be a part of it, gets one number for the women's and one for the men. No one won it this year, but I can give you who had what. So, I'm gonna shout you guys out anyway. So, my good friend Buzzy at number 3, he had the Miz. Ron Drapp. Ron Drapp, I believe he does podcasts as well. You can find it. A second. Let me see if I can find my good buddy Ron Drapp here. Let me see if I can find him. Give me a second here. So he's just a regular YouTuber. He had number 6 in the men's. He had Xavier Woods. My good friend Jeff had number 8, who ended up being Chad Gable. I entered myself too, just to have fun. I ended up getting Santos Escobar, who was at number 10, which I was like, okay, that's fine. My good friend Pluggo from Love Wrestling, he got Brock Lesnar at number 12. My good friend Aaron, Dominic Mysterio at 18. Heel Steven and Big Mike from Around the Point. They had Heel Steven had number 20 with Finn Balor, and Big Mike had 21 with Booker T. And my good friend Patrick had number 28 with Ricochet in the men's. For the women, Jeff, my good friend Jeff had Dana Brooke with number 3. Buzzy had number 4 with Emma. Aaron had number 5 with Shayna Baszler. Big Mike had Roxanne Perez, which was a great pick. So was Shayna Baszler for Aaron. Patrick had Becky Lynch, which is actually a really good pick. The more you think about it, I had Asuka and Kana, Kana at number 10 or number 17. I'm like, yes, I was okay with that one. Because if Rhea didn't win, Kana was my other pick to win here. She was my dark horse. Heel Steven had Tamina, unfortunately. Pluggo had Chelsea Green, and Ron again had Lacey Evans. So shout out to you guys. I think we fared only okay. 2 of us fared kind of better in the women's than we did the men's. But yeah. So yeah, there's what I have to say here. But I hope you like what you see here. If you did, hit the like button. Comment down below. Hit the subscribe button. Follow the social medias. You know all those drills. You can follow the other platforms we're on. Like I said, the Spotify's, the Amazon Musics, the Audibles, all that stuff. All the other social medias. I will see you back here for Monday Night Raw. Hopefully, Monday Night Raw should be interesting given who won the Royal Rumbles. Both Raw guys, by the way. Point that out too. Until then, I've been Matt the Misfit, and I will see you guys Monday for Raw. We're out.